wonderful co-host Tabitha B. Harris. I'm Osric Baum. You know what we talk about? Spirituality, relationships, and just life in general. Tabitha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, beautiful, fantastic. Well, I get to spend about 45 minutes with you, so of course, my day is already a great day.
Awesome. Awesome.
Now, today
hmm
we're gonna talk about um, something that I've been doing some research on. So we got another series that we're going to be starting, and we're going to run this series in accordance with our relationship series. So today we're kicking off the Hermetic laws discussion, and right now there's seven Hermetic laws. Not saying right now, but there's always been seven Hermetic laws, and then there are 12 universal laws. But we're going to focus on the seven Hermetic laws, and today we're going to talk about the law of correspondence. Now, the law of correspondence, catchy phrase, as above, so is below, as within, so without. Tabitha, what do you think about that?
mm I think that when it comes to uh, the laws of the universe, definitely whatever it is that you're doing or whatever it is that you're channeling, feeling, and whatever you present to the world, you definitely will get that back.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be mindful about how you operate, and when you understand that, hopefully you'll consider changing how you actually move and operate in this world, especially if you want certain things in your life that requires you being really intentional and having a better focus in what you do.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, what I take this law to mean
hmm
is that whatever it is that is inside,
hmm
that will also be reflected on the outside. So, what that take then would be however you are feeling inside,
hmm
your outer physical reality is going to represent that. So if your mind is cluttered, you got ideas all over the place, or really, let's just go with your mind is cluttered, then there is the possibility that your surroundings, your immediate surroundings, they're probably cluttered as well. So the reflection of what is inside of you will represent itself in your physical outside of you. That's how I take it. In the
hmm
same way as you said, what how you think, how you view things, being intentional, excuse me, having focus, those are all parts of things that you control that are within you. And from there, it will be reflected outwardly in the physical realm
hmm
because we're spiritual beings. And I think that's one common thing that we continuously talk about because I want to make sure that everybody understands that we're spiritual beings in physical form. That's all it is. We're physical beings. We're spiritual beings in physical form. And I think
hmm
that gets lost when we talk about
hmm
spirituality.
That's true. You definitely want to think about the things that you are channeling in your life. When we think especially of patterns of behaviors in our lives where we've dealt with a lot of unhealed trauma and wounds, that stuff does show up in a lot of the things that we do in our real reality. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that what you do ponder on, or what you're holding inside of you, oh, that comes out in other ways. That's just like the example of, I remember someone, one of my friends, um husband's friend, always used to talk about dying, like about time he's in his 50s. Do you know that man passed away? He been
Mm,
talking about that. You've been worried about that. So what happened? You kind of talk that into reality. You know, we have to really be careful about some of the things that we channel internally, because it definitely will come out in reality.
hmm I used to call it, and I think I still do call it this, and that is
Mm-hmm.
self-proclaimed prophecies,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, which essentially is manifestation. So when we talk about in the law of attraction, and that is something we'll touch on later on, but
Mm-hmm.
for these purposes, though, the reason why I bring it up is because we're manifesting
Mm-hmm.
everything around us and we don't even realize it a lot of times. We're manifesting. So the example that you just gave, to me, that was a manifestation. We call them self-proclaimed prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
It's still what you're focused on internally is
Mm-hmm.
going to manifest itself eventually in the outer world. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to, in the physical realm, it is going to appear. And when they talk about law of attraction, and they talk about
Mm-hmm.
manifesting, and how the energy that is surrounding that thought or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you internally have, that energy aids in the manifestation as far as how how soon it can happen,
Right.
definitely how real that it is going to be is the emotion that that is tied to that. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go back when you mentioned being intentional.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When you're intentional, then you you have an idea, you have a plan for what it is
Right.
that you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I would think then that that's how you would start walking because of what it is that because of how intentional that you are.
Mm-hmm.
An example. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and the main reason why a lot of people don't realize this is because, listen, when we look at all of the universe, we are all connected. But what does the universe respond to? It responds to your vibration, your energy, your frequency. That's all you.
Hmm.
Internally, you. That's why I said, tell people you can't escape anything as long as internally, if you're channeling that stuff, it's gonna come out in reality.
Your inner world creates your outer world.
Mm-hmm.
Your inner world creates your outer world. So
Mm-hmm.
you have the power to change it if it's not if your outer world is not how you want it to be, you have that power to change it
Mm-hmm.
simply
Mm-hmm.
by changing what is going on in your inner world. So,
Absolutely.
so how
Absolutely.
do we do that? How do we change our circumstances? How do we change what may not
Mm-hmm.
be how we want our outer world to be right now? How do we change that?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Everyone needs to understand that everything doesn't change that quickly. It takes
Hmm.
time sometimes. So
Hmm.
you have to, that process really honestly starts with you. It starts with you. First, you need to make an agreement with yourself that you actually going to do the work to change your thought pattern,
Hmm.
change how you move about this life, And that requires real practice. I know because I used to be one that was always full of anxiety. And I was always one that used to be like, oh, why, this is all, why are things always happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
I was always one of those people terrified of when things would come in and shift my world. Wasn't until when I went through my awakening and all that that I was like, I don't want to live like that no more. So I had to make a change for me, an agreement with myself that I'm not going to live in negative pattern thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And what that took was me every day working at saying things, changing, being more positive, saying things that speak life over me because your words are the power and it carries a vibration. So
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do is keep practicing affirmations about yourself. Practice those things. If you practice them, we've learned that practice makes perfect. We've learned that. It's repetition. The universe understands repetition.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we learn.
Mm-hmm. So, first thing is you need to make an agreement with yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I would say is
Mm-hmm.
that people will make a change when they are tired of their circumstances, right? And everyone has been at that point where for whatever and I need all of you to actually think about a time. It doesn't have to be something large scale, but just think about a time when you were done. I'm done. I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to make this change, and whatever that situation was, or however you were feeling, you came to a point where you said enough was enough, and you made the change. Right? You did that. You did
Mm-hmm.
that with with your weight loss. Right?
Yep.
You said enough was enough. You were tired of that. So what I'm telling everyone is you have not only the power, but you have the meter. You have the meter that measures when enough is enough for you. And you know what it looks like. You know what it feels like
Mm-hmm.
because at some point in your life, you hit that point and you said enough was enough and you did something different. So all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is when we talk, when Tabitha said, hey, the first step is making that agreement with yourself that you're going to do the work and put in the work. Well, we go back to you have to decide when enough is enough, and you know when enough is enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we are wanting to always establish with everyone and make sure that you understand is that you have the power. Tabitha says it's a you. You know, if you don't like me, it's a you problem, right? It's not a me
Mm-hmm.
problem. It's a you problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make a change on how your life is, that's a you problem. That's a
Mm-hmm.
you problem that you have to solve. And you have the answers. You just sometimes don't realize that you've already portrayed those answers through other instances in your life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to go off on that, but it just felt like that needed to be
Yeah,
pointed out.
that's true. It
So,
does.
so the first thing is you make that agreement with yourself. Then after that, as you said, affirmations. It's something. It can be something as simple as today I will be better than I was yesterday. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Something very simple, but
Mm-hmm.
think about what I just said. Today I will be better than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
when we're talking about making changes or just being intentional, you have to understand that when you're making these affirmations, they have to be real and they have to be something that you believe, and they have to be something
Mm-hmm.
that when you say it, you mean it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? This is the thing too. When it comes to a lot of affirmations, the simplest way, another simple way for you to start this is because a lot of you out here definitely, I know there's a good many people that believe in the creator, God, whatever you call him, God, Jesus, whatever it is, your source. And the great I am, which is consciousness, spirit, energy, do those statements the most to start off if you need to practice self-worth, self-love, knowing who you are. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Start those and keep saying these things to yourself. And one of the best ways to practice this is doing it in the mirror. Because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
you need to look at yourselves and you need to understand that, yes, I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am flexible. And as you start to do those, just start adding other things. Like, I feel worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I see that I am worthy, because you want to start seeing yourself as these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to also start moving in a way of knowing. You have to know and embody that you are everything. Because why? If you believe in the creator and the energies that the creator is giving you, you have to see the creator in yourself first. You got to know that.
Mm.
So how
Mm.
can you believe in something that you yourself is supposed to be? You have to believe that.
And that's interesting that you would say that, because that is the greatest trick that has been played on people for
Mm-hmm.
years, thousands of years, and that is believing that
God is
you are
outside of you.
separate,
Mm-hmm.
that you are
God is
separate from
in
God.
you.
It is
You
in
are.
you.
That's right. We are all walking gods and goddesses here in this God is in you. You are having that experience as in the flesh.
In the flesh.
You
So
can't, you can't forget. You can't forget who you are. We want to help you to remember who you are.
exactly. That's what this is all about, is remembering who you are. And the the most interesting part about this is that you don't think, some people don't believe
Mm-hmm.
that it's what we're saying. So when we say we are spiritual beings in a
Mm-hmm.
physical form, we are saying that we are God in physical form, because God is in us.
Mm-hmm.
When
That's
I
right.
was on when I was on Facebook, and I shared this with you
Mm-hmm.
last week, a Facebook friend had a post up, and he said, "Can someone explain to me the statement 'I am that I am'?" Right. And so, what's so interesting about that is
Mm-hmm.
that is written on my whiteboard that I look at every day, along with a couple of other affirmations that I have. But I am that I am. Now, I am that I am is what God said to Moses when Moses went up to get the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's what he would come back with. But God said during that moment, I am that I am.
Right.
Well, he was telling Moses, when he said, when Moses wanted to know what his name was, I am that I am. Well, I am that I am, to me, is the fact that we are a part of God. Okay? We're part of the consciousness, as Tabitha has said, and as we've said, and we have said this in other shows, that we're all one consciousness. We are all connected. We're all connected. We're all part of the same consciousness. And that means everything. So if God is in everything, right? This is Christianity. If God is in everything, then that would mean that he is in us, which would mean that we are God's. The example that I would give is if you get water from the ocean, right, and you put it in a cup, that water, that ocean water that is in the cup, it's still ocean water. Because it's not in the ocean does not mean that it is not ocean water. It is still has the same properties of ocean water. So therefore, if God is in us, we're spiritual beings, we are a part of that greatness.
Yep.
However you think it is, we come from that, which means we have the properties of it, and we have the abilities to do some of the same things that Jesus said. Right?
Exactly.
I
Yep.
mean,
And,
Jesus said that.
and when you think about that saying, I am that I am, that's basically representing self existence and also an eternal being. We are all
Mm-hmm.
eternal beings. We keep hearing that energy never dies. All it does is transmute into something else. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
So when we leave this realm, what are we doing? We're transitioning our spiritual being back into energy. It never dies. So that's us being in alignment by us saying this, these statements, I am, and things of that nature. We must remember that we're the greatest part of the creator. That means we're in alignment with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in agreement with it. So why would we not say that we are walking gods, goddesses? Why would you not say that?
Right.
You should you should know who you are.
Exactly. And not hear it and think
Mm-hmm.
you're crazy or you're taking it out of context. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how something can be taken out of context. If greater is he that is in
Mm-hmm.
me than he
Mm-hmm.
that is in the world.
Right.
That is a verse. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Greater is he that is in me. But
Mm-hmm.
that's for anyone. Greater is he that is in me. So God is in us.
Mm-hmm.
We are God. I mean, it's the same. It's one and the same. We're not separate. That's where I say the biggest trick has been played upon people is that they made you think, and we were both there. They made us think that God is outside of us. We said this earlier. He is not
Mm-hmm.
outside of us. He is in us because we're all a part of the same consciousness, which is why, just as everything was created, you still have the ability to create whatever it is that you want, however you want your future to be. You can still create it. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to change what is going on inside of
And people need to understand too, did not the creator say he created us in his image and his likeness? He said that right in the very
you.
book that so many of you love, but yet and
Hmm.
still you are not convinced that you are a god or a goddess. That's absurd to me when you're reading in your Bible, but yet you get upset when somebody tell you, "Oh, I'm a god." I
Right.
tell people all the time, no, when people call me queen and this, that, no, 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 no. Let's be clear of who I am because I will correct people at times. And I let them, no, no, no. I understand queens run things, but baby, I'm eternal. I'm a goddess. I'm at the top of the chain. I'm at the very top of the chain. you know? It's not that we're saying we're above God at all. We understand exactly who our creator is. We are a part of God's likeness. So, absolutely, we're going to define ourselves as such. We just carry a
Exactly. No,
different.
you're
It's basically what you're doing is you're carrying a divine essence. You're uh, you're you're an expression of the
mm-hmm.
divine source.
Yep. I mean, that is it. That is it. And that's what our mission is. Our mission is to help those that have awakened,
Hmm.
to let you know that you're not alone, okay, and you're not crazy, that this is real, and whatever you're thinking, whatever questions that you had, those questions are valid, because whatever you think it is indeed that is the case.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Hmm.
I'm saying it like that because when you awaken, you realize that you are a spiritual being
Hmm.
experiencing life. That is how God experiences. God experiences life through
Hmm.
every person, looking at it from their perspective. That is what this whole thing is about. And it is our job
Hmm.
to experience it. But by
Hmm.
experiencing it, we also want others to understand that you have to wake up. You have to wake up before it gets too late, because there is a reason why we have been separated
Hmm.
mentally.
Well, control.
Control. That is
Control
exactly
and
it.
manipulation. And
That
my
is
thing is
exactly
this:
it.
if we look out in the world today, we see how, as soon as people who understand who they are, who when they have awakened to who they are, and they disconnect from this foolishness that's out here, people really have a problem with the way you walk because you know who you are. My thing is
Mm-hmm.
this: at the end of the day, I know that I'm made in God's likeness. I know I walk differently. I talk differently. Why? Because I know who I am divinely, and can't nobody change that. And you must know that. You know what I'm saying? I know that
Yep.
I don't have to. I'm not like every. Listen, understand. People have learned in religion how to pray and beg for shit. I don't beg for nothing. I don't beg. I command things because I know who I am. I know my
Mm-hmm.
divine laws and the things that I should practice. So why would I want to beg for something when, as a God, I know I am worthy to have whatever it is that I want?
Right. Yes. That's exactly right. I mean, you're absolutely right, and that's that's a part of this experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
a part of the another part of the experience is understanding what your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, because once you understand what your purpose is, then that's where you move intentional
Mm-hmm.
and you become focused because you realize what your purpose is, right? But if you don't understand, if you don't know what your purpose is right now, that's fine, because the key to even understanding and knowing what your purpose is, you first have to be
Mm-hmm.
awake. You first have to accept some things. And when I say accept, it's understanding you're a spiritual being in a physical body. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
always continue to go back to that because that is the key to any of this, is understanding you are a spiritual being in a physical body, which is why as it is within, so it will be outward, right? That's why it's like that. You said God is everyone. He looks. I mean, he looks like everyone. The only way that can be the case is that it has to be
Mhm.
inside. It is
Mhm.
not a physical equality situation where he looks like everyone. It is a spiritual quality that allows
Mhm.
everyone to be connected.
Exactly. And just like I said before, in the book of Genesis, it speaks of that we are made in his likeness. And then when you think about Psalms 82:6, where it says there that I said you are God's sons of the Most High, must remember when we think about being God's, what it means is basically that you carry that same divine breath. We co create, we're responsible about how we use our power.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not to be small, disposable, or even separate. You're supposed to think largely. There's supposed to be no limit to whatever it is that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're a divine expression of the Creator Himself. Have an experience right now in this lifetime. And you have to walk, speak, create, and live your life abundantly as such.
And at the same time, there are laws that come into play when we talk about
Mm-hmm.
everything that she just said. You have to have the best intentions
Mm-hmm.
for
Yep.
everyone that is involved.
Yep. Because you
Because
always have to remember that there are consequences for things that you do. So yes,
exactly.
your intentions must be pure. Because my thing is this: at the end of the day, your intention will always be revealed. You can't hide anything from the great I am, the source.
Hmm.
And plus, what we're in now, the age of Aquarius, to where that age of great knowing is revealing quick. You can't hide anything anymore.
Hmm.
That's why I love this particular age and time, because people were so used to hiding a lot of the things they did, their intentions, when now those things that we thought would never be revealed, them things are coming out
Mm.
left and right.
Hmm. So that's what
You can't hide.
that's what we're wanting. That's what we want to press upon all of the listeners. That this
Mm-hmm.
first law that we talked about, the law of correspondence, it's all about what
Mm-hmm.
is inside is reflected on the outside. That's what it's all about. In the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
this the verse is in heaven as it is on earth. Or on earth, I'm sorry, on earth as it is in heaven. On earth
On earth.
as
Yep.
it is in heaven. Earth is the physical,
It's in heaven.
heaven is the spiritual, right? It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. So
It's the
whatever it is
spiritual.
inside
Mm-hmm.
of you, it's going to be reflected outside of you in your reality. So just want you to be aware and have an understanding that you can control what is going on in your
Mm-hmm.
life right now. Let's just break it down on that level. What's going on in your life right now, you have the power to change it. Okay? You have the power
Mm-hmm.
to change it. It's all up to you on how you want to change it. But if you stay with us, we will take you through how you can make those changes and they can be permanent. But You got to accept the fact that you're a spiritual being in a physical body. And when you believe that and understand that, you are awake and the lessons can begin. Tabitha,
Mhm.
what is it that you want to leave the
Yeah.
listeners with today?
Mhm. So, as you think about this week, and until we come back together next Wednesday, I want you to practice saying this to yourself. I carry divine essence. I am an expression, not the source. So remember, you're a piece of the divine source. But yes, you carry that same divine essence, and you are an expression. You are the breath. So remember that. Remember that you are a god or a goddess. Remember that. Don't you ever forget who you are.
The words from Miss Tabitha B. Harris. Use that affirmation until we meet next time. And and believe it. You got to believe it. Believe it when you say it. Say it with some emotion. When you believe something, then you will say it with emotion because you have to. That's the only way any of this works. Any of this is that
Mhm.
you have to believe it and you have to say it like you believe it.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us for this.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes it perfect. We're going to give you the perfect practice. We're going to give you the tools, the resources that is on the way.
Mhm.
Be on the lookout. That is coming very soon. We're not going to tell you what it is right now, but I'm going to tease and tell you that those resources that we will be providing are coming very soon. But understand it right now. We are going to give you the tools that you need right now to begin your journey of awakening. And if you're already on that journey, we're going to just support you because we are all walking in the same direction.
Mhm. All right.
Tabitha, you got anything left? You got anything else for me before we get out of here?
No, I hope that you guys have a great week. Just continue to practice your affirmations and know that you are everything. Your guys are so amazing, and we thank you, and we're grateful for those who come here and watch our videos. It's with so much gratitude because we love what we do and we love helping others, and that's what we both are here to do, to help support others.
Absolutely. My lady could not have said it any better than that. I'm Slick Rick. This is Tabitha. We are your hosts for the Alchemy of Us. Join us every Wednesday night at 7 on YouTube and any other platform that you stream podcasts on. Until next time, I got two fingers for you. Peace.